This module is related to the globalization and its impact on labor market. Here we are going to understand how labor market is going to interact with globalization process, or how globalization process is going to affect the labor market. Whenever production process is going to change their geographical location due to the globalization process, then different kind of businesses and investment, they are going to change their locations. So relocation of production process is going to happen. Overall, industrial economies were considering that globalization is going to cause, on the one side, fall in wages, and secondly, rising the unemployment. It may make some sense. Mean to say, it may be possible due to the technological oriented production process, skilled labor demand is growing up, but the unskilled labor demand is not growing with the same rate, or maybe it is declining. So due to that, unemployment with respect to the non-skilled labor is growing a lot. So maybe due to this reason, they consider that globalization leading towards rising unemployment. And secondly, wages are going to decrease. We need to actually observe the data, whether their claim is correct or not. So we are going to observe the data in detail as well. Further, American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organization, they were already convinced about that wages are declining. So already wages decline. On the other side, inequality is going to grow up, or you can say the inequality is going to rise due to the globalization process. If you just visit their website or Google it, then you will find out their own logic. So how they are going to convince that the inequality is going to increase? To an extent, inequality definitely increased, but how wages are going to decline, they are going to give you the detailed reasons. Another important perspective is related to the cost of free trade. That debate is going on because whenever countries or different kind of businesses, they are going to relocate, they are going to change their positions. Actually, what is happening, companies or transnational corporations or multinational corporations, they are moving from the high wage economies to the low wage economies, because they are going to have minimum possible cost of production. So in this way, they are trying to make their production process more competitive, and they try to achieve economies of scale. Here, since they are moving towards the low wage emerging economies, on the one side, their production process, and they're even successful to generate that much externalities which they enjoyed at their own homeland. So this means just China is the good example. Mean to say, whenever people, investors coming into the China, and they are utilizing the low cost labor belongs to China, then due to the excessive production process, they are able to compete into the international market. They are capable to have better technologies. They are able to have more scales. So these are and innovations and different kind of inventions. All these are actually the part of these externalities, which they are going to enjoy even in these economies. Another important perspective is the social dumping. Social dumping actually shows that developing countries try to participate into the race for getting maximum foreign direct investment. And so they try to keep the wages lower and lower to attract more foreign direct investment, to show that over labor is cheaper. So that is another perspective. Maybe that may be the reason the wages are quite low. If we just observe the new classical economic model related to the trade, Hickscher-Ohlin and Samuelson model, then it mentioned that increasing globalization is going to cause adverse impact on the capital abundant country. So let's suppose we are going to observe all these phenomena by the help of these graphs. This dotted line shows the unemployment in US, and this blue line shows the unemployment rate in UK. Interestingly, in US, unemployment crosses the double digit in very limited number of years, very few years, and most of the time it remains below even 9%. On the other side, that thing happens, it just rise, the unemployment rise. In case of UK, it's only up to this time period because UK values are mentioned here. So it crosses 10% only in this time period. Therefore, it's a very short period in which actually unemployment enters into a double digit. In case of European Union, story is quite different because we have a limited data from 2000 to 2000, more than 2016, around 2017-18. So according to this data set, still there is no rise of unemployment above than 4.3% even. So that is the time period where it moves up to the maximum height. On the other side, if we observe China definitely crosses this 10% line more than 1 year. So that happens in China even. On the other side, if we observe the average hourly wages, the US wages are consistently rising up, growing up, as well as UK wages. The data is a bit shorter, but still it has growing trend. So it means wages are growing. Even it may be a nominal wages, but we need to understand that if prices remain stable, then these are actually transforming to the real wages. The Germany, which is going to represent European Union to an extent, so its values are definitely rising upward, trend is upward, but with some cycles. On the other side, China's growth is more observable or significant after 1989. So again, it means globalization, the recent globalization is going to contribute positively in terms of wages. On the other side, inequality, if we observe the inequality, this line, this 45-degree line shows the Gini index from 1990 to compare it with the Gini index in 2015. If it remains same, inequality is not going to change, then countries should lie on this 45-degree line. And those which are above, this shows that over the time, on the recent years, they are capable to improve their inequalities. So they have higher Gini values. So Indonesia, Sri Lanka, China, Italy, they shows that these countries are capable to get more advantage of the globalization and their inequality actually reduced. On the other side, these economies which are showing that and inequalities may not be reduced so much as compared to 1990. Then we are going to observe the comparison in terms of UK GDP and US GDP. Consistently both are growing with some margin, but still they are, in terms of real GDP, is growing up. As well as in case of European Union GDP, it is again rising, having upward trend. In this time period only, due to some financial crisis, this faces some kind of disturbance. Otherwise, consistently is growing. China's values are showing the upward trend, but with so much high volatility or variation. If we observe the foreign direct investment, how it is, the above line shows the inflows. Here, positive value shows the inflows and negative value shows the outflows. So outflows are higher in these economies. France is there. Those countries which are close to zero mean they are in balance in terms of foreign direct investment. How much investment they are going to do in other countries and how much they are going to receive is going to cancel each other. So these countries are showing they are close to balance. On the other side, these countries shows that they are facing the more outflow as compared to inflow, and these countries are showing more inflow. This is very different situation for different countries. Some countries are getting more benefit of globalization and some countries are getting less benefit in terms of investment, in terms of wages, in terms of inequality.